Hey, this is Jürgen Rasmussen. Welcome to the Provocative Hypnosis vlog. Today I'm doing a very quick episode on a question that clients tend to love. Now, if you haven't watched my two previous episodes about social conversations versus therapeutic conversations, I recommend you watch those because that kind of provides the context for this question. But the last question I usually ask people before we kind of go into our experiments and stories and what have you is there anything you wish I would have asked you? I just lean back and I go completely silent. Clients tend to love this question. And I think there's several reasons why. On the one hand, I'm kind of, you see, the experience people often have when they see a therapist or someone who asks questions is that the therapist has a set of questions, an agenda, something that he or she is looking to know or find out. This kind of flips the script a bit and says, look, is there anything that I haven't thought to ask you that you think might be relevant, right? Is there anything I have missed? Is there something that's not in my map, but which may be in yours? So is there anything that you wish I would have asked you? Very often, clients feel seen and they feel heard as an individual just by being asked that particular question. It often gets them to pause. And even if most of them don't necessarily have anything to offer, they still feel that, I'm seeing them, I'm hearing them, I'm inviting them to contribute something. It's also a question they have never been asked before. So it's new, it's kind of fresh, it's a bit intriguing. And sometimes people contribute stuff that's important that they hadn't thought about, because if all your questions are kind of predictable and people are used to going to therapy or coaching, they have a tendency to often answer in a quite predictable way. They're kind of, you know, running through a sequence or a program. They're telling a story that they've told many times before, and they're on autopilot. But if you suddenly ask a question they've never heard before, such as, is there anything you wish I would have asked you? That's different. That often gets them off of that autopilot. It also models, through example, a particular quality that I want to evoke in the client. You see, clients change when they see something new, when they hear something new, when they have an aha, when they have a shift in perspective, when they make a discovery or a uncovery. That's usually when people change. So to kind of facilitate that, you need to encourage people to listen in a different way, to engage in a different way, because if you don't, they're just going to hear whatever they're already thinking. And everything's going to make sense to them and be logical, but there's no change because they haven't heard or seen anything new, right? So when I ask, and this is kind of subtle, but when I ask a client this particular question, I'm kind of demonstrating them the quality of I'm open to hearing something new. I'm open to seeing something new. Is there anything you wish I would have asked you that's not on my menu? Because that's what I'm inviting in the client. I'm inviting them to step out of their scripts and their particular way of understanding their experience. So this is a great last question to ask, both in terms of evoking those qualities and demonstrating them yourselves to get the client off autopilot, to often get some useful information, um, and to help facilitate that sense of he gives a shit. Like he sees me, he hears me, he actually cares what I think. If you do this, you also likely pull the rug from one of the biggest hurdles that you can get in change work. And that is, if people don't feel seen or heard, or they feel like they want to tell you something and they haven't been able to say it, they're just waiting for you to shut up. And they're just waiting to tell their story. And even if they're too shy to do it, they're doing it in their head. So they're not hearing anything you're saying. They're not engaging with the exercises. They're not discovering anything new because there's too much noise going on. But if you ask, is there anything you really feel I need to know about you or your life or your circumstances? Tell me quickly. And is there anything you wish I would have asked you? If you ask those two questions, the client's kind of emptied out, especially if you combine them with the frames that I shared in the two previous videos about social conversations versus therapeutic or change work conversations. If you do that, you get a way more responsive client. And as I said, you really pull the rug from this tendency for the client to just wait for you to shut up because they just want to tell their story and they want you to understand it, because otherwise they don't feel seen or heard. So implement this, and you'll be happy with what it evokes in your clients, and just as importantly, in you. So once again, if this resonates, know that I see clients on Skype from all over the world. So if you want to make any changes, you can reach me at provocativehypnosis.com. My next seminar teaching the Psychological Illusion Model 2.0 is going to be March 25th, 26th. It's going to be online. It's 2023. So if you're interested, go to provocativehypnosis.com, go to the seminar page. You'll see a link there with information and opportunities to sign up. Once again, thanks for listening. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them where you find the video. Thanks.